Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is brother All.
The brother Wiz, and we coming to y'all, you know what I'm saying, with a much needed video, a much needed. It's a classic, but it's one of those ones that we gotta always keep in the back of our mind, you know. And with that being said, I just thought of a verse that the mighty brother Paul wrote, and I believe that is Ephesians chapter 6, right? Ephesians chapter 6 and verse number 16. It says, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Right. So the mighty brother Paul said, with the shield of faith, he called faith a shield. You'll be able to dodge all of the arrows. You got to think of all of the temptation. If you got faith in the Most High, if you got faith, hey, the Most High provided a way for me out of this temptation. You know, then you'll be able to dip out like Joseph did when the Pharaoh's wife was trying to lay with him. You'll be able to do those things because you got that faith, and that's what Paul is saying here in Ephesians. Years and years and years after Joseph, because they understood the same thing. The understanding was the same, right? But I'm gonna let the brother hop in there.
Yeah, Khan. Brother broke it down real quick. But this, I mean, faith is very, very important. And with faith and works, I mean, that's a beautiful combination, right? Because the order to even show faith is by works. And Lord willing, we can get to that. But we don't have faith is sin, right? And we can prove that, right? Romans chapter 14, verse 23. It says, he that doubteth is damned if he eat, because he eateth not of faith. For whatsoever is not of faith is sin, right? So all these things that you do, all the works that you do, I mean, if you do it for naught, if you do it just to do it and have no faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, is really, I mean, you in sin. You really in sin. If you don't have faith that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai will get you away from the spirit, or you dealing with infirmities and things of that manner, if you don't have faith in the Most High and His begotten Son Yahweh Shai, I mean, you will be in sin. You will be that's transgression of the law. Sin is transgression of the law. 1 John 3 and 4. So if you don't have faith in getting out of adversity and things of that matter, our forefathers in adversity when you read the accounts. Yeah, one precept you got it. Let's go to Luke, right? Chapter, it's the book of Luke, chapter 1 and verse 37. It says, for with God nothing shall be impossible. So basically you saying that you feel in your spirit that all the things that you go through, right? The adversity, the the just the trials, all the things that you dealing with the spirit, you been dealing with the spirit after month after month after month. You don't have faith in the Most High that He can take you out of that. You basically saying it's impossible for the Lord to do it. And He created all things, but you got.
And that's right, man. We got to remember how small a situation can be that'll show how little our faith is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be something where I had a situation recently where I got pulled over, um, and I knew that I wasn't breaking the law. I wasn't doing anything wrong. And the first thing that came to my mind, because I was outside of the city. Anybody from, my city know when you in the city you good. When you get pulled over like out in the suburbs and stuff, it's a whole different story. But first thing that came to my mind was Proverbs 3 and 5. Right? And I'm gonna read that for a second. It says, Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. Right? And this is something I said out loud. You know, and anybody who know me personally know I do not like interacting with law enforcement. Uh, as y'all know, our history with our people with law enforcement is not too great. So I just choose to try to stay out of their way. They stay out of my way. Everybody go home to their family jolly and happy, right? But time turns out to be a female cop. She comes up to the window. She says, "Oh, you have a front plate. You need to have a front plate." Something she was saying about a plate. It was just a license plate. So I said yada yada yada. I gave her the registration and the license. Everything came back good. This is my car. All of that. So I'm sitting there. I'm on the phone with somebody because, I just want to make sure I got a witness. And I look in the rearview mirror. I see 2 more police cars. You know what I'm saying? And I got 3 police cars behind me for a license plate. So I already said I like to avoid law enforcement because I just don't want any situations. I want to go home to my family. I see about 4 police officers outside of their car, you know what I'm saying? They got their hands down on their belt. So I'm just sitting here, you know what I'm saying? I'm on the phone with my wife. And I'm just calm as possible because, like I said, as soon as I pulled up, I had enough faith to be like, hey, Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in the Lord with all my heart. Now, of course, my heart was down there on the floor, but I was still trusting in the Lord with all of it. You feel what I'm saying? So when we get in these situations, these real life situations where we in the way with our adversary, we got to agree with them. We got to remember stuff like that. You got to have enough faith to be like, hey, okay, how you doing, officer? Because, some people, the police come and pull them over and they all mad and they hostile and they want to yell and they want to cuss at the police. That's not wise. That's not being wise as a servant. You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure that we being wise in these situations. And with that being said, I want to just hop straight into the lesson, right? Because the mighty man, James in the New Testament spoke highly on faith without works, or more specifically, having faith and having works. This is James chapter 2 and verse number 14. It says, "What doth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he hath faith and have not works? Can faith save him? If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, Depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled, notwithstanding ye give them not those things which are needful to the body, what doth it profit?" So he's being sarcastic with this analogy. If you starving, you ain't eating 3 days. If you come up to your brother and say, "Oh man, I know you got some food. I know you got some cereal, some leftover pizza, whatever you got, I need it." And they put their hand on your forehead like they do in church, and they say, "Bless you in the name of Jesus. Let your stomach no longer be starving." And then they send you along your way. How ridiculous would that be? I mean, that's what he's saying, right? These are not my words. This is the prophet James, right? So why would we treat the word or being in the truth, whatever you want to call it, being children of the Most High? What makes you think that you can do anything as a child and your parent is going to accept it? You can just say, "Oh, let's say you're a sister and you looking for a husband. Oh, Lord, I just want to become a Proverbs 31 woman so I can find me a good husband, good God-fearing husband." Then you don't never reach out to none of the sisters. Sisters reach out to you. They ask to hang out with you. This sister been in the truth 5, 10 years. You just not coming in. You don't never hang out with her. You're not even putting yourself in a position. You're not putting that work in to be around a virtuous woman. Be at her house. See how she serve her kids. How she serve her husband. Maybe sit in on a study session with her and her husband. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she is. You see how she wrap her head when the word come out. Okay, I got to do that. All these type of things, right? But it has to be the works with it. We can't be afraid to do the work, right? But I'm gonna pass it to the brother for a second. You got it.
Khan, all praise to the Most High. All right, like that was said, that's a beautiful combination. That is a great duo, right? I'm gonna bring out Psalms 144. Matter of fact, no, I'm gonna bring out Matthew first, right? This is the book of Matthew, chapter 21, verse 21. It says, "And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Verily I say unto you, if ye have faith and doubt not," right? "And doubt not, ye shall not only do this which is done to the fig tree. Also, if ye shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed, be thou cast into the sea, it shall be done. Right? So if you got faith, hey, the Lord said you can move mountains, man. That mountain can be anything, that spirit you're dealing with, or you trying to get a house for you and your rib, or you may trying to get a car. You know, you trying to take care of yourself as a man, and you doing what you need to be doing. Hey, that mountain can be moved. You have in the Lord, right? Verse 22, it says, "In all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believe, believing ye shall receive." Right? So you don't want to be doing the work, right? I mean, praying, you doing the work because you giving up spiritual sacrifices. Like the Levites, the Levitical priesthood, they was doing sacrifices, the sin offering, right? The free will offering, the grain offering, right? They was doing these things. You doing the same thing as well. Why are you carnally getting your money together, so on and so forth? You know, making sure you're diligent in the Lord, right? Doing the work of the Lord. And you gotta have faith with that. Like I said, you don't want to just you doing the work, but like, man, if you got a what it is spirit, ain't nothing's gonna come to you. The Lord already see that spirit. But you can move that mountain while you're doing the work. You don't wanna you don't want these you don't want Jake to have more faith in the carnal things than you have more faith in the most high. Because they train for the league. They train to be the greatest artists. They train to do these things of the world, these great things of the world, and they have faith they will be that great. And they end up succeeding. So if you could put your mind to in these if Jake can put his mind into these carnal things, how can you put your mind into the most high God, right? That he'll literally deliver you or exalt you in due time. Right. So we're gonna go to Psalms 144, verse 1. It says, "Blessed be the Lord, my strength, which teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight." Right. And the Lord's literally we soldiers, right? So the Lord trained us to fight spiritually, soon physically, right? So he trained us to fight. And us having faith in the Lord is our strength. So if you don't have no faith in the Lord, you in sin. Obviously, you have no type of strength. Because without the Most High, we already weak. I mean, without the Most High, we're dead. Plain and simple, right? So you gotta,
That's right. And a lot of times we get caught up in looking up to celebrities because that's what's put in our face. It's not our fault. When you growing up, like I was still growing up, like before social media and all that. When you used to still, when you at the gas station, you'll see the mixtape flyers on the gas station pump and stuff like that. You still seen the billboards with all the rappers who was coming in town. So that's all you saw. I didn't see you know what I'm saying, Jesus who looked like he burned in the furnace on a billboard on my way to school. I didn't see that. So I didn't aspire to be like that. I didn't aspire to get in this word and really read about him. I thought he was just some white dude with fluffy golden retriever hair who was coming back to save everybody. And that was just that. However, when I started to put that work in, when we started to actually read about our forefathers, like King David, then we got to really understand, like, oh, this is how things had to go. This is how I'm supposed to do. I can't just have the faith like I'm a Christian. I have to put that work in like the Israelites do. Right? I'm gonna bring out Psalms chapter 118 and verse number 8. It says, "It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man." Right? This is the understanding that they had years and years and years ago. You gotta put your faith, because confidence, if you got self-confidence, that means you feel good about yourself. You have faith in yourself. You know what I'm saying? If I've been hooping since I was 3, getting it in with a personal trainer one-on-one with the best trainer in the world, when I step on the court, I'm going to have a whole lot of faith in myself. But I'm not having faith because I just woke up like that. I'm having faith because I put this work in since I was 3. So you understand on a carnal level, like the brother was saying, Jake understand, but can you apply that to the truth? And this is a cut to me every now and then because, hey, I could be going just as hard for the truth on the work side as I would with trying to get money. Hey, you might start picking up hours. I start working 60 hours a week and start stacking your money. I mean, you eating, man, peanut butter jelly sandwiches. You eating oatmeal. You eating whatever. You eating Ritz crackers. with the, you know what I'm saying, you making the cheese and meat cracker, you know what I'm saying? You doing what you gotta do just to get what you, man, because you see that end goal. You got that faith, you got that confidence. Like, man, I got that, I see it in my mind, but I'm putting that work in behind it. We gotta do the same thing. If you see yourself being the mightiest reader, you got to really sit there and have that faith that you can be that. You got to pray for it. You got to work for it. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure you sending up them prayers. Make sure that you doing what you got to do before you go present yourself before the Lord, asking Him for something. Make sure you doing what He asks from you. That's having faith without works. Hey, in Deuteronomy 28, we always read from verse 15 on down. It's still 14 verses above that talking about the blessings that you get for listening to the Most High. You feel what I'm saying? We can still get that. That wasn't just a, no, y'all can't get it no more. It's literally a cause and effect. It's a seesaw. If y'all want to lean on that side and do what y'all want, hey, I'm over here on this side. I'm up here. It's off balance. I don't know what to tell y'all. However, why not? Why we can't just lean back to the Most High side? Just have faith for once. We can't. We don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. So let's just we got to make sure we putting that work in. Make sure we showing the Most High, hey, I believe in you so much that I'm gonna sacrifice this time playing the game. I'm gonna read a couple of chapters out of Judges. You ain't gotta read the whole thing. Just read 2 chapters out of Judges. Do some flashcards. That's something I like to do. But show the Most High, hey, yeah, I messed up. I did this. I did that. I did wrong. But hey, I'm trying to get right. And this is the work that I'm putting behind it because I got the faith that you will forgive me because I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to make myself perfect as I'm commanded. But you got it, Pop.
You're not doing those things. You be working and not have faith, and you wondering how things is working out as it should be. Cause yeah, you still leaning on yourself first and foremost. You leaning on the work that you're not leaning on the Lord to be able to exalt you. It all goes hand in hand, right? I'm gonna go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 22. It says, "Wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works, right? For that is his portion. For who shall bring him to see what shall be after him?" Right. So it's a good thing for a man to rejoice in his labor, right? In the labor of the Most High God. And we didn't. I mean, we still in captivity right now. So Lord willing, we in the kingdom and we can rejoice. All the fasting, all the praying, all the all those things that we done. Loving our brother, our sister, checking up on them, right? Doing the work. Lord willing, that can come, right? And we all endure. But it says, wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works. And you rejoice because you giving praises to the Most High God first and foremost, because whatever you was working towards, you have faith in Him, and He grants you that, right? So it's a beautiful thing. Our forefathers done it as well. We're gonna bring out some accounts of that because they encouraged themselves like King David, then Abraham, right? I mean, it's literally going back into the time when before Abraham had the law, he had faith in the Most High God. And we got to have faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It's literally right back to that, right? Nothing changed. Number 23 and 19, nothing changed. So we have to have the faith as Abraham, David, Jacob, Isaac, right? Let's get to it. 1 Samuel chapter 30 and verse 6. I'm going to start at verse 4. It says, "Then David and the people that were with him lifted up their voice and wept until they had no more power," right? And David's 2 wives were taken captives, right? And Ahinoam the Jezreelitess and Abigail the wife of Nabal the Carmelite. And David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him, because the soul of the people was grieved, every man for his sons and for his daughters. But David encouraged himself in the Lord his God, right? So David 2 wives got taken captive. You know what I'm saying? The tribe of Israel. You know what I'm saying? The southern kingdom. They they daughters, they sons got taken captive, right? And they all leaning on David, like, yo, what you just do? What you just do? I mean, nothing really his fault. But David encouraged himself because if that happened to you, it happened now. Jake, something go on, something bad happen, or his car get jammed up, whatever it is.
So like,
yeah, you go ahead.
Like that movie Taken.
God, I forgot about that movie.
You know,
I forgot about that. I ain't see that movie in years, right? That was the old man. But like the movie Taken, man. Soon as all hell break loose, hey, brothers leaning on, they point fingers, man. Point fingers. Hey, I got in trouble too. My kids got taken too. My wife got taken. But y'all expecting to stone at me. But David encouraged himself in the Lord. He had faith in the Most High to get out of that situation. But let's see how he moved. Right, verse 7, it says, and David said to Abiathar the priest and Amalek's son, I pray thee, bring me hither the ephod. And Abiathar brought thither the ephod to David. And David inquired at the Lord, saying, shall I pursue after this troop? Shall I overtake them? And he answered him, pursue, for thou shalt surely overtake them, and without fail recover all. Right? So David did not lean on his own understanding. David literally had faith in the Lord. Okay, Lord, what I need to do? He called the priest, right? Bring me the ephod, right? Let's read on. Verse 9, it says, so David went, he and the 600 men that were with him, and came to the brook Besor, where those that were left behind stayed. But David pursued, he 400 men. So David is doing this. This is work right here. This is not an easy thing. You know how long it took to get man together? I mean, they ain't just go out there and just fight. The Lord told him what to do, and he did the work what he needs to be done. Just like Noah. The Most High told him, look, build an ark, because I'm finna destroy this place. Noah did the work. While he's doing it, he having faith. You know, it's spirits all around trying to hinder you, right? You don't know how long that the children of Israel was still threatening David because their sons and their daughters was held captive, right? They ain't see it's some that just had kids. Just imagine your newborn just got taken, right? And somebody coming to you talking about, so man, why you do this? My kids got taken. My son got taken. Why you thinking it's my fault? This all of the Lord. The Lord gonna take care of it. He brought us in this situation. He could take us out, right? But I'm gonna finish that verse. It says, but David pursued he and 400 men, but 200 abode behind, were so faint, which were so faint that they could not go over the brook Besor, right? But obviously, you know, David encouraged himself in the Lord, and they was continuing to go through and do that work, man. And that's how we got to be. Faith without works is dead, plain and simple. You got to.
and even in the New Testament, right? Because I know a lot of people, they have things against the Old Testament. They think it's too violent. They think it's too whatever. They think it's too this. They think it's too that. However, when books like Revelation were being written, books like, more specifically, Matthew were being written about Christ, all he had was these older scriptures. All he had was the Apocrypha. And we know because he kept the Feast of Dedication. They talked about him going to the Feast of Dedication, right? We know, and he also quoted something from Second Esdras, right? So we know that he had the Apocrypha, he had Proverbs, he had these things, but he didn't have Revelation. None of these things, right? They say that the keeping of the commandments, which is the works, they say that's dead, that died with Christ. However, let's see what the book of Revelation says. The book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 12. This is John the Revelator. This is after Christ. Let's see what he had to say. Here is the patience of the saints. We know the saints is the Israelites, right? Pursuing to Psalms chapter 148 and verse 14. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Yahushua. Wait a minute. I thought it was done. I thought all I had to do was just drop to my, you know how they run around in church? They put the, I remember when I was growing up in church. They used to have a little oil. They used to put it on their hand. Everybody line up, their hands up like this. And the pastor used to do this. You know, they used to stand up behind. I wish I had a blanket.
Madness.
I don't have a blanket. You know what I'm saying, though. They used to stand up behind him with the blanket, and they used to say, "Sha-da-da-da-da. Sha-da-da-da-da." And all my family members used to be like, "Yes, Pastor. Yes, Pastor." You know what I'm saying? They got all this faith. That's one thing I can give the Christians. I can give them that. They got a lot of faith because they believe that. They believe that when they say Shamala, Shamala, that they are speaking to the Most High and He is hearing them and He is accepting their prayer and He is granting it. So they got the faith. However, how come anytime I'm going through something at school and I come to my auntie, I come to my uncle, I come to grandpa, I come to grandpa's or grandma, I say, man, I'm going through this. Why they never give me a Bible verse? Why they have me in church every Sunday, but anytime I'm going through something, they never say, let's sit down, open the Bible, let's see what the Bible got to say. Why that never happened? You know what I'm saying? I thought that, we had all this faith that God is here. What's going on? Right? We gotta have to work, man. We can't hate doing the work. We can't be Christians out here, man. We know the truth. If you're watching this video, you know something. You got some type of understanding on some level to know that you cannot just sit here and tell God, hey, I'm sorry for sleeping with that man's wife. Then go do it again tonight. Then say, hey, big man in the sky, I'm sorry again. Then sleep with that man's wife again. Think he's okay with that. Just all faith and no work. Okay, all right. If you was married and you had a woman, if a man slept with your wife and you had to forgive him, you commanded to forgive him, and he did it again, would you invite this man into your house? Oh, he's okay. No, he won't ever do. He only slept with my wife twice. It's not gonna happen. I don't have to hold a grudge. I don't have to hate him in my heart. I'm commanding not to. That don't mean I have to let this man into my house. Really, I need to be worried about why is this woman still in the house after she done committed adultery twice. That's what I need to be worried about. But that's neither here nor there for the sake of the conversation. Right? And I'm going to bring out this precept, and then I'm going to pass it back off to the brother, right? This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 7 and verse 15. It says, hate not laborious work, neither husbandry, which the Most High hath ordained. We got to remember that the work is set up on purpose. It's supposed to be hard. Didn't the Most High tell Adam that he going to work by the sweat of his brow? He told him, just like he told the woman, hey, it's going to hurt real bad when you push babies out. It still hurt real bad when women push babies out, right? So if the Most High held up what he said to Eve, why wouldn't he hold up what he said to Adam? It's going to be real hard. You think the kingdom of heaven is going to be easy to get if it's the kingdom of heaven? Think about that. Think about that. Think about your favorite video game. You playing Call of Duty, you playing whatever. Let's take Call of Duty. You playing it on veteran mode. You playing it on expert mode. You got your headphones on, you got your Turtle Beaches. That was it back in the day, the Turtle Beaches, right? I had the light up controller. This was when the PS3 was the thing. And I'm sitting there all night. Probably 8, 9, 10 hours trying to beat this. Going hard. I got faith that I'm going to do this. I didn't get, bro, listen, I'm dying over and over. It's this one mission I've been trying to pass an hour and a half. I don't care. Listen, I ain't getting no sleep. I ain't getting up to use the bathroom. I'm not going to do nothing. Just imagine if I applied that same level of dedication and determination to the truth. I'm not going to sit down till I read 5 chapters of the law. Just imagine it for the rest of your life. It's only so many chapters of the law before you keep reading stuff over and over. You might, man, after about 7, 8, 9, 10 years, you might be able to recite it out loud. They say, what do Exodus 35 say? Word for word, you just bust it down. This, and this. Don't break the Sabbath. Don't break the Sabbath. Don't kindle the fire. You might be cold. but you can't hate the work. That's what Sirach chapter 7 and verse 15 say. But you got it out.
You can't hate the work, man. Right? I'm gonna get second Esdras chapter 3 because obviously doing the work is keeping the commandment, think manner, and whatever things you got to do as a man, and having faith in the Most High God. But it, like I'm gonna chime in what the brother was saying. It's not gonna be easy. Like being righteous is not easy because you got Satan, him, to tempt you. Satan brings legions. He bringing his whole army. Right? You have an army as well. You have Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, first off, and you got your brothers, right? But it's not going to be easy. Righteousness is not going to be easy in this place, right? This second Esdras chapter 3, I'm gonna just start at verse 19. Right? It says, "And glory went through 4 gates of fire, and of earthquake, and of wind, and of cold, that thou mightest give the law unto the seed of Jacob, and diligence unto the generation of Israel. And yet tookest thou not away from them a wicked heart, that thy law might bring forth fruit in them." Right? So the Lord didn't take away the sin that lieth in us, this flesh, right? So the law can bear fruit. So you reading of thou shalt not and you can't covet, you can't things of that manner of the law, right? It brings fruit because we wicked, man. We're wicked. Let's read on to that. It says, "For the first Adam bearing a wicked heart transgressed and was overcome, and so being all they that are born of him." So we wicked, man. We are wicked just for us doing and being in this flesh. And doing the Most High not giving us, you know, uh not taking that wicked seed out of us, right? To have the law to actually exalt all of this that we go through, right? We have to work hard for righteousness. We have to work for it, right? And faith of the Most High God to be able to be righteous. Even though I mean our righteousness is filthy rags, but we have faith for the Most High God that He'll be able to forgive our sins and uh, to accept our righteousness that we put forth, of the work that we do, right? So let me go to I got another precept, First Kings chapter 11 verse 28, because we have this desire. Matter of fact, let's go to Spirit shift me real quick, because you got to desire discipline, because you being disciplined in your work. I mean, you really striving for perfection at this point, and having the faith for the Most High God that He'll be able you to be perfect in the things that you're striving for. So let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. That's what it was. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, and verse 17. It says, "For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love." So, in the work, you have to be disciplined, right? You have to be disciplined. Keep your mind. You have to be disciplined in the work you're doing. Because if not, it ain't going to at this point, right? And the love is the keeping of her laws, and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption, right? And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy to stay disciplined. It's not an easy thing, because if you don't stay disciplined, you'll be dead. And if you don't have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, I mean, you will stay dead. Because sin is death, right? Man, right? So let's go to First Kings chapter 11 and verse 28, right? Speaking about Jeroboam and the spirit he was in, even though he got too carried away in the spirit he was in, right? First Kings chapter 11 and verse 28. "And the man Jeroboam was a mighty man of valor. And Solomon, seeing the young man that he was industrious, he made him ruler over all the charge of the house of Joseph." Right. So Solomon seeing that Jeroboam, he was a hardworking man. He's very diligent, right? Everything that Solomon told him to do, he done it. And the things he desired, he done it as well. Right. So you gotta
Now I want to get back into James, right? Because James broke it down beautifully, right? and we're gonna try to run through it, try to get through it, so we don't dwell too much on one point because I need the whole context of everything. Right, it's James chapter 2 and verse. We're gonna start at verse 17. Even so, faith, if it have not works, is dead being alone. That just cuts it automatically. Even James agrees with what we're saying. You can believe all you want, but if you can believe you going to the league all you want, but if you sit down and just eat potato chips all day and watch Netflix, I can promise you ain't getting to no league, not a professional one. I can promise you. It's the same thing with the kingdom. If you pray once a week, we got to be for real. Reading on. Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Shew me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. I'm going to show you I believe by getting it done. It's kind of like when you was a kid and somebody told you, I bet that you won't do this. And you was like, I bet I do it. I bet $1. I bet a whatever, I'll do a backflip. Then you do the backflip. They wouldn't just, if you just told your cousin, hey, I can do the backflip, and you ain't never do it, they gonna talk about you. Oh no, he was just saying this, he was saying that. But if you do the backflip, what can they say? Because you had the faith with the works. So if you got faith without works, tell me how you don't believe. How can anybody say you don't believe? That's what would trip me out so much when we go to camp. And people say, oh, y'all not doing the work of God. Y'all not. Wait a minute, we got the Bible and we reading straight out of the Bible. We say we believe in God, and yet every time we outside, first thing they say to us, oh, we see y'all out here all the time. Because we put the work in. So, exactly. So the nerve of you to come up with all faith and no works when you see us have the faith and the work. We doing what James said. So who's wrong, you or us and James? Continuing on. Verse 19, thou believest that there is one God, thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble, and this is another cut to you Christians. Because y'all believe that it's only the Lord Jesus and all. Y'all believe Jesus is God. So y'all, I guess y'all still believe in one God, but it's still three because it's a Trinity, but y'all still believe in one God. I don't know. We just gonna go with the one God for right now. He said, you believe in one God? That's very cute. But the devils believe also. They can be an atheist, whatever. Let's say these Edomite devils. First thing, something happened on a movie. It's like Transformers or something, a building fall. What's the first thing they say? Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, my God. They don't say, oh, Buddha. When you ever heard that? Oh, sun God, Ra. A bomb, my car just exploded. My son just died in my face. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Zeus. Holy Zeus. They don't say that. Even the devils believe it's one God. That's not enough. So do that mean the devil's going to be saved too? Because they got the same amount of faith as you. Reading on. But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered Isaac his son upon the altar? Seest thou how faith wrought with his works, and by works was faith made perfect? Faith wrought with works. Faith put together with his works, and by works was faith made perfect. Because he put the work in, the faith was perfect. I can't tell you don't want to make it to the league if you always talking about how you're going to make it to the league, and every time I see you, you got a basketball in your hand. You on the way to the park, or you on your way home from the park to go take a shower. Every time I see you for years. Your faith made perfect. Hey, somebody asked me, what you know about, man, listen, every time I see him, he got a ball in his hand. He trying to get to the league. I'm actually rooting for the brother. As a matter of fact, he going hard. But if you just always got that one friend who's saying, man, I'm going to go to the league. I'm going to go to the league. He don't even own a pair of gym shoes. You're not going to believe that. It don't make sense. It's the same thing with the truth. We talking about gym shoes. Imagine how much more serious we is when having faith with works in the truth, bro. It's not a game, right? And Abraham understood that. I'm gonna read the next verse. And the scripture was fulfilled, which said, Abraham believed God, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness, and he was called the friend of God. Ye see then how that by works a man is justified and not by faith only. I want to get an account of Abraham having faith. Abraham didn't have Proverbs. Abraham didn't have Revelation. He didn't have any book after Genesis. He didn't have none of them. He didn't have Exodus through Revelation. He didn't hear that the law was done away with. He didn't hear come as you are. He didn't hear John 3:16. None of that. He didn't have a Bible. He didn't have, he couldn't read out of James how I'm reading right now, right? All he had was, hey, whatever they had back then, I don't know. But one thing he did have was faith with his works. This is Genesis chapter 12 and verse number 1. Now the Lord has said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto the land that I will show thee. Now, we can't just read the Bible like a Catholic priest and just say and read it like it's just a Dr. Seuss book. We got to really break down what it's saying. This is a huge verse. Imagine I knock on your door today. I say, Shema Wa'al, don't pack nothing. Leave the United States. Leave your mama and them behind. Leave your brothers and your sisters. Leave your kids. Leave your wife. Leave your camp. Leave everything. Go to Europe. I'm going to tell you where to go when you get there. And that's it. I mean, what you going to do? Like, after that, there was no explanation on why or on exactly where. Okay, when you get there, make sure you hit a right. Then you're going to meet this person. Then you're going to shake his hand. You do the secret handshake. He's going to take you to the back of the shop. Then he going to put you in this car. It don't say all that. It just say, hey, get the going. Leave your family. Leave everything. Right? Let's drop down to verse 4. Let's see what Abraham did. Let's see if Abraham was a Christian who was like, okay, Lord, I believe in it. And then he just sat there and never went nowhere. Genesis chapter 12 and verse 4. So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. Right? So he departed. Let's see how old Abraham was when this happened. His name wasn't even Abraham yet. His name was Abram. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. This man was a senior citizen. He was past retirement age. I mean, he probably was old and gray. You know what I'm saying? No telling if he was bald by that time. You know how Jake be. It's kind of 50-50. He's 75, his knees probably bad. I mean, of course, they was probably in better shape back then. They ate better. They moved more. However, 75 is 75. You ain't 25 no more. However, the Lord just told him, hey, just get up out of there. And he did that. So if a 75-year-old, you're going to let a 75-year-old man show you up. Don't lose to a 75-year-old man. I'm going to talk about you at the feast day for sure. Hey, man, we got the new moon coming up tomorrow. You definitely going to be the topic of conversation. Don't let the brother get the strong drink in him. We rejoicing, enjoying the new moon. Hey, I'm going to get on you. Right? But I'm going to pass it to the brother.
God, Abraham's faith was through the roof, man. I mean, we gotta desire to have that faith and sincerity, right? I'm gonna go to Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 4. It says, the soul of the sluggard desireth and have nothing. Right? I thought about this precept, I believe, a couple days ago. Right? And I'm literally thinking about teaching and videos. I'm thinking about all this. And this precept came to mind. The soul of the sluggard desireth have nothing. Because you got a lot of people be like, Lord willing, I can get Lord, when I can get this, Lord, when I get that, Lord, will the Most High, hear my prayers, the Most High willing, but they not doing anything. It says the soul of the sluggard desireth and have nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. So you got to be diligent in your work with the faith in the Most High God, man.
What's that precept about?
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 4.
13 and 4.
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 4. I'm going to read that again. It says, the soul of the sluggard desireth and have nothing. It's a lot of Jake and Eve that literally be like, yeah, they be wanting to celebrate their wicked birthdays and be thinking about all type of stuff. Just, let's go to the Bahamas. Let's go on a cruise. Let's go to Hawaii. They desire and don't go because the Most High don't want them to celebrate their birthday. So the Most High just jam everything up, but they still desire to celebrate, and now they damn celebrating at Dunkin' Donuts, right? But more of the story is they desire a lot of things. They want to go to these places and don't put no effort in doing so. And then when that times come to their birthday, they not even doing nothing because you didn't work for it, right? You don't want to work in wickedness because people work hard in wickedness, man. Jake want that eighth, right? Jake want a 3-5. Jake want to smoke. He doesn't have any money. He gonna get an eighth for free. He works hard for that. You work hard and you have faith that you're gonna get it too. That's madness. You don't want to have Jake to be having faith in these carnal things, but you don't have faith in the Most High God who give us these things in this carnal world, right? So I'm gonna read that again. It says, the soul of the sluggard desireth and have nothing. All you do is imagine things and don't put no effort in it. All you do is literally talk and talk and talk, but you doing no walking. You laying down in the bed with pajamas on, just having a damn fantasy, right? I don't know if anybody saw SpongeBob, but when I used to watch SpongeBob, SpongeBob was like got a damn bubble on top of his head and rainbows, and that's you. That's you thinking of so many beautiful things, but you not doing nothing, right? But the soul of the diligent shall be made fat, right? It's plain, right? I'm gonna go to Hebrews chapter 11, right? Hebrews chapter 11. Right? We can go to verse 5, right? It says, by faith, Enoch was translated that he should see death and was not found because God had translated him. But before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased God because he had faith in the Most High, man. He's being diligent, and the Lord took him. Like, oh, I got to get away from him. He ended up being just like these other wicked folks. You know what I'm saying? Read on. It says, but without faith, it is impossible to please him. But he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. I mean, you doing the work, you diligently seeking him. You abstaining from your flesh, you diligently seeking him. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You abstaining from all these things, right? Salakia. But you abstaining from all these things, you diligently seeking the righteousness of the Most High God. You thirsty and hunger for righteousness, right? You diligently seeking him. And you're not doing it. You're not doing it without faith. You pleasing him. Right? I'm gonna read that again. By faith, it says, but without faith, it is impossible to please him. So if you're not faith to your works, how can you please the Most High? You gotta know that he is. I mean, he does all things. He the reason why we always us doing the work. He the reason why we doing the work. And you just moving off just your body, not by the spirit of the Most High God. I mean, that's a false balance. Put that out.
I'm looking for this one preset, man. I definitely need it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's perfect for this conversation. You know what I'm saying? All praise to the Most High came to mind. It's 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse number 4. It says, let's start at verse 1, right? 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. This is the Lord talking, right? Not a man talking, it's the Lord talking. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So the words of prophecy that's put in Ezra's mouth, the words of prophecy that's put in all of these prophets' mouth is faithful and true. It's full of faith and truth. Right? So if you don't do what these words say, how can you say you're full of faith? How can you say you have faith? Right? You might think you have faith because you do like Muslims think they have faith because they pray to rocks and they pray 5 times a day towards the east. Everybody's got faith in something. You know what I'm saying? Spiritualists have faith in their rocks. However, the Bible just said the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth that are written in paper are faithful and true. It says, fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. It didn't say, oh, you be unfaithful and it's just, I understand. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You get a pass. You let it, I'll let you slide. No, all the unfaithful gonna die in the unfaithful. We didn't say, I remember this particular person who claimed they was an Israelite, debated us at camp. He didn't have the fringes on his body. He had a regular shirt on. He had the fringes in his pocket. He had like a pullover hoodie. He had the fringes, like the shirt and the hoodie with the fringes hanging out. But he didn't have them on. That doesn't make sense. Why won't you just put the shirt on? Just put the work behind it. Yeah, you sitting there debating, you got a whole lot of zeal. You got, I mean, you on fire for the Most High in terms of your anger, your emotion, but you ain't even put the fringes on right. You know what I'm saying? We got people who will debate us about, oh, what Christ didn't say, but what about what Christ said? You say you believe in Christ. He said, if you love me, keep the commandments. I love him, so I'm trying to keep the commandments. I ask you, do you love him? You say yes. I ask, where are your fringes? And then you look like a deer in headlights. So I don't understand where the disconnect happens. All over the Bible, I mean, we've been on this video for almost an hour now, going all over the Bible. We ain't stayed in one spot. We've been in Proverbs, we've been in James, we've been in Revelation, we've been in Genesis, all over. People wasn't just sitting around just having a whole lot of faith, warming a bench. They was out there going hard. They was like that walk-on who walked on the court. He ain't get no scholarship, but he hungry. He finna make this team. Somebody get ankles got to get broke. He don't care. He'll break the coach ankles. It don't matter. Who want it? I'm getting on this team. That's how you got to be with the crown. I'm going to get one more precept, right? And then this really my last precept, just to drive the point home, right? Because at this point, if you'd have made it this far in this video, you understand. You should understand. If you don't, hey, put your finger on the screen, rewind it, start it from zero. Keep going through it. That's your work. You got faith that what we teaching is true. So the work is, I'm going to keep rewinding it till I get it. This your first opportunity to show the Most High, hey, I want to put the works with my faith. I believe what the brother James was saying. I believe what Abraham was doing. I believe in what David did. I believe that having faith without work, having faith with works, like, is the way to go. I gotta have the works with the faith. This is Revelation chapter 3 and verse. Let's start at number 10. This is red letter. That means it's Christ speaking. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Don't let nobody take your spot. Don't be in the truth for 5 years and then fall off. Don't be in the truth for 20 years and then fall off at the end of year. It's December in your 20th year, and then the Lord come back January of year 21. You if you'd have stayed on fire for 2.5 more weeks, you fell to adultery. You know what? Hey, the Lord taking too long. You know what I'm saying? My brother been gone for a while. He left his wife behind. He was looking for food. Hey, that brother gone, man. I'm gonna just go ahead and do what I gotta do. You might start thinking about that. Hey, you can feel however you want to feel now, but you don't know what kind of spirit you're gonna be in. It's the only woman you didn't seen for weeks. Y'all surviving together. She helping you make the fire. She helping you build the tent. We got to really put ourselves in perspective with these things. So, like I said, I wanted to really get this last precept because even Christ is telling you in the book of Revelation, don't let nobody take your crown. Don't be that one who knew better and didn't do better. And that goes for me and everybody else. Because I'm no better than you. I got to make sure I'm putting that work in, make sure I'm getting the count. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I'm checking on my brothers. It's a lot of ways to put that work in to have faith and show, hey, I believe that this truth is where I'm supposed to be. I believe these commandments is something I'm supposed to keep. I believe heaven is something that I can achieve if I do these things. And I'm gonna work every week. I'm gonna put that work in every week to show the Most High, hey, I got that faith. And then my faith will be made perfect, like it say in James chapter 2. But I yield on that.
That's right. It's my last precept, right? Jacob, for Jacob, the faith he had. And the works. He believed his works was going to grant. Faith for the Most High was going to grant him, but due to his labor, right? This is Genesis chapter 30, verse 30. It says, for it was little which thou hadst before I came, and it is now increased unto a multitude, and the Lord hath blessed thee since my coming. And now shall I provide for my own house also. Right? So this is late. Jacob had to do another 7 years due to Laban being very crafty, man. Right? Because Jacob was a hardworking man, had to feel work. He seen that. And when Jacob came, he blessed his field, his inheritance, right? Thing flourished through Jacob, right? Verse 31, it says, and he said, what shall I give thee? And Jacob said, thou shalt not give me anything. For if thou wilt do this thing for me, I will again feed and keep my flock. I will pass through all thy flock today, removing from thence all the speckled and spotted cattle, and all the brown cattle among the sheep, and the spotted and speckled among the goats. And of such shall be my hire, right? So shall my righteousness answer for me in time to come, when it shall come for my hire before thy face. Everyone that is speckled, everyone that is not speckled and spotted among the goats, and brown among the sheep, that shall be counted stolen with me. So, hey, Jacob says, show my righteousness answer for me, man. Hey, that's confidence in the Most High God that the things that he done, the Lord is going to grant him those cattle and those sheep, right? So if you don't have confidence in Most High God that he will reward you according to your righteousness, the things that you do diligently behind closed doors or up front against men, I mean, that's your answer for yourself that you're not doing what you need to be doing. As a whole, all of us, right? If you don't have confidence in the Most High God, if you don't have faith in the Most High God, he's going to grant you the things, he's going to feed you, clothe you, whatever it is, right? According to the things that you have done or you've been doing. That means you're not working hard enough or you're not doing nothing at all, right? But that's my last precept. And with that, I want to get all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? Shalom.
Shalom.